Georgie and Mandy's first marriage doesn't just succeed on its own terms. It quietly sets the stage for what the next Big Bang Theory spinoff could look like, and why it could work. In a franchise that could have easily burned out after years of popularity, this series proves that there is still creative life left in this universe, as long as the focus stays on character growth rather than gimmicks. That's why its success bodes so well for whatever comes next. The most important lesson Georgie and Mandy's first marriage teaches is that future spin-offs don't need to chase the original formula. The Big Bang Theory thrived on fast-paced jokes, heightened personalities, and ensemble chaos. This show does the opposite. It's slower, more intimate, and often uncomfortable. Yet audiences have embraced it. That reception sends a clear message. Viewers are open to different tones within the same universe, as long as the storytelling feels honest. This opens the door creatively. A next spin-off doesn't have to be another laugh-track-heavy sitcom centered on intellect or eccentricity. It could explore a different phase of life, a different emotional register, or even a different genre entirely. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage proves that the Big Bang Theory world can stretch without snapping, which is exactly what a long-running franchise needs to survive. Another encouraging sign is how the show handles legacy characters. Sheldon's absence is arguably its smartest choice, and that restraint is a blueprint for future projects. Instead of leaning heavily on familiar faces for instant recognition, the series builds new emotional stakes around characters who once lived on the margins. That approach prevents fatigue and keeps the universe feeling expansive rather than repetitive. For a future spin-off, this means characters don't need to orbit Sheldon or constantly reference past glory. They can exist independently while still being connected by shared history. That balance between continuity and freedom is rare, and Georgie and Mandy's first marriage demonstrates how effective it can be when done right. The show also proves that audiences are deeply invested in everyday struggles within this universe. Success here isn't measured by awards or intellectual breakthroughs. It's measured by survival, paying bills, sustaining relationships, and finding purpose in unremarkable circumstances. That shift in perspective broadens the franchise's appeal and creates space for stories that feel more universal. This is especially important when considering spin-off longevity. High-concept premises can burn bright and fade fast. Character-driven stories, on the other hand, can evolve season after season. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage thrives because it allows its characters to grow, stumble, and change direction. A future spin-off that follows this model would have room to breathe and adapt. The series also shows that the franchise can handle moral ambiguity. Characters aren't always right. Decisions have consequences. Relationships are messy and sometimes unfair. This complexity elevates the storytelling and attracts viewers who want more than surface-level comedy. It suggests that the next spin-off could trust its audience with more nuanced narratives without losing accessibility. Another promising sign is how the show respects its audience's intelligence without centering intelligence as the subject. The Big Bang Theory often celebrated brilliance explicitly. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage focuses on emotional awareness, resilience, and perseverance. That reframing allows the franchise to stay relevant to a broader audience, including those who may not have related to the original show's academic setting. From a structural standpoint, the success of this series shows that smaller ensembles can work just as well as large casts. The show doesn't rely on a crowded group dynamic to generate momentum. Instead, it deepens a few relationships and explores them thoroughly. That approach would serve any future spin-off well, especially in a streaming-focused landscape where character depth often matters more than sheer volume. There's also a confidence in how Georgie and Mandy's first marriage avoids constant spectacle. It doesn't build every episode around a big moment. Instead, it lets tension accumulate naturally. That patience suggests a creative team willing to play the long game, exactly the mindset needed to launch another successful spin-off without rushing or overhyping it. Perhaps most importantly, the show proves that the Big Bang Theory universe is no longer dependent on nostalgia. Viewers aren't tuning in just to relive old jokes or familiar dynamics. They're tuning in because they care about these characters now. That emotional investment is the strongest foundation any future spinoff could hope for. If the next Big Bang Theory spinoff follows the example set here, it won't try to recreate lightning in a bottle. It will tell a new story with new priorities, using the universe as a backdrop rather than a crutch. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage shows that this approach doesn't weaken the franchise, it strengthens it. In that sense, the show isn't just a successful continuation. It's a proof of concept. It demonstrates that the Big Bang Theory world still has room to grow, shift, and surprise audiences. And that's why its success doesn't just feel reassuring, it feels like an open invitation for what comes next.